Donk CS2 is a Russian professional Counter-Strike 2 player, born on January 25, 2007, in Tomsk, Russia, making him just 19 years old as of early 2026. Currently playing as an entry fragger and rifler for Team Spirit, Donk has rapidly ascended to become one of the most dominant and celebrated talents in the history of Counter-Strike esports, often compared to legends like Simple and csgo for his raw mechanical skill, aggressive playstyle, and unprecedented peaks. His nickname Donk reflects his straightforward, no-nonsense approach to fragging, prioritizing aim duels and opening kills over utility or complex setups, earning him the moniker of the ultimate opener in the game. With a career that exploded onto the Tier 1 scene in 2023, Donk has already secured a CS2 major championship, multiple HLTV Top 20 Player of the Year honors, and a trophy cabinet boasting 9 LAN victories, over $885,000 in earnings, and 10 HLTV MVP medals, tying records previously held by icons like csgo. Which mouse does Donk use? Donk has transitioned to using a custom, unreleased csgo mouse developed in collaboration with the brand. This prototype device marks a significant shift from his longtime preference for Logitech products, reflecting csgo's strategic partnership with Team Spirit and Donk's personal involvement in its design. The mouse is tailored to fit his unique claw-palm hybrid grip style, emphasizing precision and comfort for high-level competitive play. While full specifications remain undisclosed due to its pre-release status, it features a wireless design with a distinctive csgo receiver, an ambidextrous shape without side buttons, and a sleek black matte finish that prioritizes lightweight construction and sensor accuracy. This collaboration was first hinted at in November 2025 when csgo announced their work with Donk, and it has generated buzz in the gaming community for potentially setting new standards in pro-grade peripherals. Donk mouse settings. His mouse settings are meticulously tuned to support his high-octane playstyle, emphasizing quick flicks, precise tracking, and 180-degree turns without excessive arm movement, which aligns with his reputation as an arm aimer who favors a medium sensitivity for balancing control and speed. At the core of Donk's mouse configuration is a DPI of 800, a setting that provides a solid foundation for granular control without dipping into the ultra-low 400 DPI common among wrist aiming pros like Simple or csgo. Paired with an in-game sensitivity of 1.25 directly pulled from his verified config file, this yields an eDPI of exactly 1000, placing him in the medium sensitivity range for CS2 professionals. This eDPI allows Donk to execute rapid, aggressive entries and AWP duels with minimal desk space, enabling full 360-degree swivels in about 40 centimeters of mousepad travel, which suits his large SteelSeries QCK plus mousepad perfectly. The zoom sensitivity ratio is set to 1.0, meaning scoped weapons like the AWP maintain the same feel as hipfire rifles, eliminating any disruptive multiplier that could throw off his rhythm during quickscopes or holds a choice echoed in his configs, zoom_sensitivity_ratio value of 1. Further refining precision, Donk's mouse polling rate is 1000 Hz, polling the sensor 1000 times per second for ultra-low latency input that's essential in CS2's high refresh rate environments like his 600 Hz csgo XL2586X Plus monitor. Raw input is enabled, bypassing Windows processing for direct sensor-to-game data, which is standard for pros to avoid acceleration or interpolation artifacts. Mouse acceleration is completely disabled, ensuring linear, predictable movement where distance traveled on the pad directly correlates to cursor travel on screen, no surprises during clutch moments. Windows pointer sensitivity is tuned to 4, a non-default setting that fine-tunes desktop navigation without impacting CS2 due to raw input, though some configs list it variably as 1 for Purity Pro trackers confirm 4 as his active value. Donk crosshair settings. Donk's crosshair settings are minimalist and precision-focused, typically featuring a small, static classic style without outlines or recoil compensation to ensure maximum clarity during high-speed engagements. His setup is meticulously optimized for precision and low latency, reflecting preferences shared among top pros who prioritize stretched resolutions and minimal distractions. Donk's crosshair settings, verified from recent matches such as G2 vs Spirit on Nuke on February 3, 2026, feature a compact classic static style designed for pinpoint accuracy without unnecessary visual clutter. This generates a small crosshair with no dot, a tight negative gap of -4 for a closed center, line length of 1, and thickness of 1. It employs no outline, full alpha transparency at 255, and does not follow recoil. The color is set to custom green via Crosshair Color 5, with additional dynamic split settings like Crosshair Dynamic Splittist 7 for subtle adaptability during movement. Donk video settings. Donk's primary resolution is 1280 x 960 with a 4:3 aspect ratio and stretch scaling mode, which stretches the image horizontally to fill his 1920 by 1080 native monitor panel, making player models appear wider and easier to hit. He sets brightness to 93% to enhance visibility in darker areas without washing out colors, and runs in full-screen display mode for the lowest possible input lag. His refresh rate is capped at his monitor's 600 Hz capability, ensuring buttery smooth motion clarity during fast-paced duels. In the advanced video settings, Donk enables boost player contrast to make enemy outlines pop against backgrounds, a staple for competitive play. He disables VSync to avoid input lag from frame syncing, turns off NVIDIA G-Sync, and sets NVIDIA Reflex low latency to disabled in recent configurations, though an earlier screenshot from February 2025 showed it enabled. Pros like Donk often tweak this based on hardware and patches. His maximum FPS in-game is capped at 600 to prevent wild fluctuations while staying well below his monitor's refresh rate for stable 1% lows, with menus limited to around 200 FPS. For anti-aliasing, he uses 8x MSAA, which smooths edges without the performance hit of higher options, balancing clarity and FPS. Global shadow quality is high with dynamic shadows set to all, providing essential shadow information for peaks without over-darkening the map. Model texture detail, shader detail, and particle detail are all low to minimize clutter and boost FPS, while texture filtering mode is trilinear for sharp textures at a low cost. Ambient occlusion is disabled to avoid unnecessary darkening of corners that could hide enemies. High dynamic range is quality for better dynamic lighting, and Fidelity FX Super Resolution is disabled to preserve native sharpness. Donk monitor settings. Donk's monitor settings, accessed via the OSD menu, are fine-tuned to enhance enemy visibility in dark areas, reduce motion blur, and maintain neutral colors without oversaturation, which is crucial for spotting foes in CS2's dynamic environments. He utilizes Diac 2 set to premium, Zowi's advanced backlight strobing technology that significantly cuts down on motion blur during rapid flicks and tracking, providing a sharper image at the cost of some brightness, ideal for competitive play where pixel-perfect accuracy reigns supreme. Black equalizer is dialed to 10, lifting shadows in low-light scenes like smokes or corners without washing out brighter areas, allowing Donk to pre-aim and peek aggressively with superior awareness. Color vibrance sits at 10, adding a subtle boost to hues for better model pop without distorting the game's natural palette, while low blue light is off at 0 to preserve full color accuracy and avoid any tinting that could hinder visibility. The picture mode is set to Gamer 2, a preset optimized for FPS titles with balanced contrast and response. Brightness and contrast, both at 70, provide a vibrant yet controlled image that prevents overexposure in bright maps like Dust 2 or Mirage. Sharpness is maxed at 10 for crisp edges on player models and outlines, Gamma is Gamma 2 for improved midtone visibility, and color temperature uses user-defined with red, green, and blue, all at 100 for a neutral white point that ensures consistent rendering across different lighting conditions. Finally, AMA is on high, overdriving pixel response times to eliminate ghosting during high-speed movements, completing a setup that prioritizes fluidity and precision. Donk view model settings. One key aspect of his setup that contributes to his precision and comfort is his view model configuration, the first-person weapon model positioning and behavior. This setup positions the weapon prominently on the right side of the screen, pulled slightly forward and lowered for better sightline clarity. The field of view of 68 is a staple among pros, providing a balanced zoom on the weapon without making it dominate the screen. Higher values like 68 shrink the model to free up more space for crosshair placement and enemy spotting, compared to the older CSGO defaults around 60. The offset X value of 2.5 shifts the weapon noticeably to the right, a common choice to avoid overlapping the center where most aiming occurs. Offset Y at 0 keeps the weapon at a neutral forward depth, while offset Z minus 1.5 lowers it vertically to reduce vertical obstruction. The preset pose 1 overrides some offsets for a pistol-like or low-right preset, ensuring consistency across weapons, though some sources note variations like preset pose 2 in older configs. Pro settings confirms 1 as current. To fully replicate Donk's view model, additional commands control recoil visualization, shifting during ADS, and bobbing during movement. In practice, Donk's view model shines on maps like Mirage or Dust 2, where the lowered, right-shifted AK-47 or M4A4 barely encroaches on the crosshair area, allowing instant headshot alignments. Donk radar settings. Breaking down each setting in detail reveals Donk's strategic intent. The radar scale 0.7 command sets the zoom level of the map on the radar, where lower values show vast areas for lurkers like S1 Empel, but 0.7 strikes a balance, revealing key choke points and rotations on maps like Mirage or Inferno without cluttering the view with irrelevant edges. This zoomed-in perspective suits Donk's aggressive peaks, allowing instant threat identification during wide swings. Complementing this, Radar Always Centered 1 ensures the radar perpetually focuses on Donk's position, preventing disorientation in fast-paced rounds. Meanwhile, Radar Rotate 1 makes the entire radar rotate to match his facing direction, mimicking a real-world compass for intuitive spatial awareness crucial when spraying through angles or tracking rotates. Further refinements include Radar Icon Scale Min 0.6, which sets the smallest size for player/enemy icons, keeping them legible even at edges without ballooning the radar's footprint. HUD Radar Scale 1 dictates the overall size of the radar box itself, ensuring it doesn't encroach on screen real estate vital for his 4:3 stretched aspect ratio. The Radar Square with Scoreboard 1 toggles the radar to a square shape when the scoreboard is open, maximizing space efficiency during post-plant or eco reviews. Finally, Draw HUD Force Radar 0 disables any forced radar redraws, maintaining performance in his 500 FPS cap setup on high-end gear like the Zowie XL2586X Plus monitor and Logitech G Pro X Superlight mouse. Donk Skins. His in-game prowess is matched by his eye for premium CS2 skins, resulting in an inventory that blends high-tier play skins with ultra-rare sticker crafts featuring vintage Katowice, 2014 holos and foils, pushing its total value well beyond $200,000 as of February 2026, far exceeding earlier estimates like $42,000 in mid-2024 or $69,000 in early 2025. Donk's collection, often updated for majors like IM Krakow 2026, emphasizes factory new Doppler knives, Dragon Lore WPs, and meticulously stickered rifles, many loaned from streamers or gifted early in his career when he famously asked fans for skins before his breakout. His knife is a pristine factory new Butterfly Knife Doppler Ruby, a Phase 4 gem valued around $10,000 to $12,000 depending on exact float and pattern purity, featuring a vibrant ruby red blade with sapphire accents that flips dramatically in animations. Gloves alternate between Specialist Gloves Crimson Kimono with its blood red silk and gold embroidery, or Sport Gloves Vice Pattern 673 Knuckle Duster, emphasizing durability and style for close-quarters entries. Primary rifles include StatTrak AK-47 Redline, AK-47 X-Ray, or the loaned factory new AK-47 Wild Lotus, alongside M4A1's Hot Rod Vaporwave for CT side precision. The AWP Dragon Lore, factory new, floats around $0.010, $11, $500-$12, $300 base but up to $200,000 plus with 4x Dignitas or Crown foil stickers, is a rare sight in his hands as a rifle main, but he deploys it occasionally with name tags like DRG and Lore. Donk Gears. Donk's gaming gear setup is meticulously optimized for peak performance in Counter-Strike 2, reflecting his partnership with premium esports brands like Zowie and Logitech. His primary monitor is the Zowie XL2586X Plus, a 24-inch TN panel with 1920 by 1080 native resolution, 600 Hz refresh rate, and no G-Sync or FreeSync, prioritizing raw motion clarity through DIAC 2 technology set to premium mode. For input devices, Donk recently switched in late January 2026 to the unreleased Zowie X Donk Signature Mouse prototype, a custom collaboration with no side buttons, featuring a wireless receiver in the back for a clean design tailored to his grip and preferences after years on the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. This change occurred at Blast Bounty Winter 2026, though he reported occasional shutdowns or lag issues shortly after, yet maintained elite performance like a 1.40 rating on affected maps. He pairs it with the SteelSeries QCK Plus mousepad. His keyboard is the Logitech G Pro X TKL with GX Blue clicky switches, hot swappable PCB, and RGB lighting. Audio comes from the wired HyperX Cloud 2 closed-back headset with detachable mic, supplemented by Shure SE2 15 clear earphones for monitoring. Completing the setup are the Blacklight Kraken Pro gaming chair and Blacklight Atlas light desk, powered by an Intel Core i9-13900K CPU and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 Super GPU with digital vibrance at 50%. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the esports player and his settings. Drop a comment below sharing your favorite gaming setup tips for what you'd like to see next on the channel. Let's build a gaming community together.